Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is White Lightning 777, and I just have a few thoughts on the whole vote recount thing with Donald Trump. He'll probably win. I mean, first of all, the lamestream media, the Soviet, distormer, whatever you want to call our lamestream media, is claiming, well, the vote fraud is, that mail-in fraud is a lie. That's not true. Some states do mail-in ballots, and they do okay. Other states screw it up royally. It's a real mixed bag. And with mail-ins, there's a very steep learning curve to getting it right. And if you have a bunch of first-time states doing it or much larger numbers, fraud, errors, stuff getting lost in the mail is entirely foreseeable. That's just the way it is. I mean, that's true when you roll out any huge new project. If you have, if you're a brand new widget factory and the first, 100,000 widgets that come out, I mean, you're probably going to have to do recalls on them and, fix them and whatnot. That's how it is. So fraud is entirely possible and most likely occurred. And, voter fraud, I mean, it's happened before. I mean, 2 words, Lyndon Johnson, rigged every election he was in and never got caught. It's a very easy crime to commit, a very hard crime to prove. So, a lot of the evidence is circumstantial. The second point is about evidence. There is some footage, a few hidden cameras, Trump people managed to get a few hidden cameras in. I think that, well, maybe just one, and you can clearly see, Democrat poll workers changing things in the ballots. But most of the time, you're not going to get that. What you use is like circumstantial evidence. And circumstantial evidence is still good evidence. You prove indirectly that they are. For example, let's say a guy whacks his wife for another woman and you find the body. That's direct evidence. Circumstantial evidence is they go fishing and, he comes back and she doesn't know and never sees her again. And the cell phone and the bag and all that stuff's still in the car. Well, there's no body, but guess what? Circumstantial evidence has put people on death row. Circumstantial evidence has put people in jail for life, and it can be just as strong, if not stronger, than what we would consider traditional evidence, and that's how voter fraud is proved. You can also use statistics. For example, let's say, you suspect someone of being a hitman, but, you don't have direct evidence, and every time some, rival mobster turns up dead, the dude, oh, I won 50 grand in the lottery. Another guy turns up dead. Bam, I won 50 grand in the lottery. Well, statistically, it's not really possible to win 50 grand in the lottery twice. Oh, and by the way, bodies are showing up. Okay? Statistically, it's not possible to get 130,000 votes for nothing but Biden. Even if, let's assume, let's grant them that Trump is so unpopular, let's say in Philadelphia, that 100% of the people want to vote for Biden. Well, we know even when people vote in person, 2 or 3% of those ballots are wrong. They're mistaken. And mail-ins can have as high as 20%. Sometimes 10%, is not unheard of. So if those things are being filled out by people, a few of those votes are going to be for Trump just by accident, but they're not. If you have people that are skilled at rigging elections and rigging votes, they know how to fill in ballots because they fill them in all the time, thousands and thousands a day. I mean, if you have, say 200 people a day filling in ballots and they take, 10 seconds per ballot and they work 10 hours per day, I mean, or 1,000, I mean, do the math. You can easily, in a close election, you can easily make up those numbers. And, you also have ballots that are marked for Joe Biden and no one else. There's no down ticket. Highly suspicious. If you go to vote for president, are you just going to fill in the president and not vote for senators and not vote? Because the president needs senators. They need other officials in the party. The president can't do anything by himself. I mean, everybody votes down ballot. I mean, most people vote those straight red or straight Republican, straight Democrat, unless they're Republican, but they know a Democrat personally that's on the ticket and they personally think that one's okay, then they may cross over, but usually they don't. So, you can make a statistical argument. Okay, hey, it's mathematically impossible for this to have occurred. Okay, circumstantial evidence is good evidence. Okay, the other thing to consider is the judges themselves. In 1991, during his confirmation hearings, Joseph Biden, then Senator Biden, grilled Clarence Thomas and called him a rapist in reference to the whole Anita Hill lie. Basically did a Kavanaugh job on him, and Thomas has never forgotten that. When Kavanaugh was confirmed, Kamala Harris likewise grilled him unmercifully and treated him very badly. So already we got two Supreme Court justices that really have an axe to grind with Biden and Harris. Okay. You also have Amy Coney Barrett, who was a clerk for Scalia when Bush versus Gore occurred and probably helped out with that decision. So figure that's three. And the others, and there's three more just like that that'll go along with it. So, if Giuliani, brings in any kind of case before the Supreme Court that appears to be somewhat coherent, the judges want to rule in his favor. Oh, and the other factor, of course, is Biden and Harris's ambiguity about packing the court. There's 9 justices on there. If you put 4 more justices on there, or 5 or 6 or however many, you're diluting the power of each individual justice on the court. You're taking away their power and glory. And, politicians don't like to share power. If 9 people have power to divvy it up among themselves, they don't want to share it. They don't want to get a smaller share. And so, they may decide, packing the court's kind of not really, in the spirit of the Constitution, and, we'll kick him out for that reason. So he can go there. And of course, the other thing, the nuclear option, or let's just say the antimatter bomb option, is for Giuliani to go out and criminally prosecute Biden. We can prove he's a felon. We can prove he's taking bribes with the Hunter Biden emails. A felon can't be president. And if he gets convicted and asked for jail time, think about it. If you're sent, in theory, if you're sent to jail by the Supreme Court, you don't have any appeal. You're done. If you're guilty, you're done. That's it. So he could go after him that way. Of course, then you're left with President Harris, but whatever, So Trump's chances are, our president's chances are pretty good. It's a 50-50 shot. It's not a sure thing. But, at this point, it's like Trump asked black people, what the hell do you have to lose for the cities? Well, Mr. President, what the hell do you have to lose? Stay in the courts, stay in the fight, and, if they count the votes and turns out there's really nothing there and Biden just won, fine. But why hurry? They don't even send the electors out till December. And the media doesn't call elections, states do. Technically, both candidates have 0 electors because nobody's certified yet. Worth keeping in mind. This is White Lightning 777 signing out.